Agulu Lounge came up with the Feeding Hope initiative to give back to the community. We wanted an opportunity for us to say thank you on Thanksgiving Day for the communities where we have operated, even during hard times during COVID, and we have received a lot of support. We're one of the small businesses that continues to thrive because of the Kibera community. And it's for that reason that we wanted to give back to the women and children of this area. The initiative is essentially to come together with the people who are less fortunate than us and make sure they get the same nourishment that our customers get. We fed them the same food that our customers get. We believe that today about 1,200 women, children, and men have had an opportunity to enjoy a good, nourishing meal at Agulu Lounge. We are working very closely with the Kenya Harlequins Football Club. We've also worked very closely with the Architects Alliance. Those are our primary sponsors. We are very glad that Harlequins has been gracious enough to allow us to use the grounds. We are also very glad that the Architects Alliance have supported us financially and in kind. We are also very glad to have worked with the Shofco, a local-based organization. We've also worked with the Uthabiti community, and we've also worked with the Smile Africa, which is a small NGO that supports women and children in Kibera. Well, I'm happy that this event is successful. We set out to reach 10,000, but we are glad that we've managed to reach 1,200. We'll come back next year. For us, this is an opportunity to start, and we have shown that it is indeed possible to support children and women.
Today I'm here because I was contacted by the owner of Agulu Lounge, who's a friend of mine. He told me about this initiative, Feeding Hope. The target was to feed 10,000 children. We didn't quite manage to raise enough money, but we did raise enough to feed 1,000, which I think is still a statement in itself. So I'm here because I believe that those of us who have been heavily blessed through no credit of our own, through God's grace we've been blessed. It's up to us to bless other people who probably don't have the opportunities we do. We should stop being so focused on greed, on the bottom line. We should ask ourselves, why do certain people not have what I have? It's not because they're any less beings. What can I do to improve the lives of others? Those are questions you need to ask yourself. I don't believe people are blessed because they're any better than anybody else. Who says I'm better than those kids over there? No. And what Matthew has done, and his partner of course, is realize that he is blessed. He has more than enough. He has contacts, he has friends, he has people who he can bring together for greater good. These things are bigger than me and you. You know, what's happening here today, it's bigger than me and you. It's bigger than our problems. In fact, it makes us look at our problems and think, actually, I don't have problems. I've seen some kids getting on the bouncing castle today and saying, I've never been on a bouncing castle. I'm like, my daughter needs to hear this because she's spoiled, you know, things they take for granted, things you and I take for granted. So Matthew has realized he's blessed and he's like, why can't I share my surplus with somebody else? Why can't I make a sacrifice for certain days so that somebody else could be blessed? And it takes a very little, especially when you come together as a community. And Matthew has brought together friends, former schoolmates. There are people who've donated stuff. I've seen the Kenya Architectural Society. Coca-Cola has given us sodas and water, you know. So there are people who've used their contacts to bring more, to bless more people. It's not only money we look for on days like today. If you can give in kind, if you can give your time. There's so many ladies here, not necessarily of means, but they've given their time. They've come to cook, they've come to serve, they've come to mind the children, they've come to just spend time with children. Some of these underprivileged children don't necessarily need just a meal. Some of them need a hug, they need assurance. I've spoken to one girl from Kibera, I'm not going to mention her name, and she says that her mother sells alcohol. She's 14 and she comes to one of these feeding programs because there's not enough food at home, and her mother says, why are you going there? Stay home and help me sell alcohol. A 14-year-old, you know. So if you can come and mentor that 14-year-old, tell her there's hope, find out what her talents are, see what connections those of us with certain connections can make. So there's a lot more you can give than just cash for initiatives like this.
We believe that architects are more than just architecture only. We are thought leaders, and we've been in the industry long enough to know that there are a lot of issues affecting our society today, and we must participate in making our country and our society better. One of our key pillars is on mentorship and of course giving back to the society, what we call the CSR, giving back to the society. So we've been out scouting for who we can partner with or where we can participate in giving back to the community and to the society, as we also look at the challenges that our society is going through so that we know how we can plug in and where we can assist. So one of our very key members, one of our very robust members, architect Irene Agutu, is associated with Agulu Lounge. And so when they were crafting this idea, she was part of it. And we decided to plug in and partner with Agulu Lounge today so that we can help with the mentorship part of this and also, pitch into the feeding of the children. One of the biggest impacts on such a project is the creation of hope. It's important to give hope. The fact that you've brought a child out here, maybe they've never even been to this part of the city, they've never eaten a meal, they've never interacted with people like ourselves, gives them hope that there's a world out there, there's a bigger world out there that they can look out to. And also the fact that we have people also reaching out to them also gives hope, in the sense that we are here, we're also willing to pull our people up from wherever they are so that we can make a better society. You are not okay if your neighbor is not okay. We are not okay if these children are not okay. These children are potentially our future leaders tomorrow. They are actually the future for tomorrow. And we have a duty in the society today where we sit to make sure everyone, especially the children, are held their hand and they are brought up to speed to where we hope our society will be tomorrow when we leave the country to them. So these are important, these are very important functions and activities that more and more people should plug in.
The impact that I think this program would have by feeding children, number one, when you talk about food, we are talking about good health in children. So those children who came here and maybe they didn't have a meal today, and today they are going home full, they are going home happy, they are going home excited. And that is one thing that helps a child to grow and develop. Once a child is given that dopamine hormone, that happiness hormone just ensures that they are growing happy and they are getting good health by receiving the food that they have received today. So it is impacting them by ensuring that children in the community are fed and they will remember this day.
We work in Kibera, that's where our headquarters is, and there are so many beneficiaries that we have from the communities. So through that, we managed to mobilize more than 500 beneficiaries or communities from the Kibera. So that's what we were asked to do, and we did exactly that. So the mobilization we were doing for our programs. And as you understand, we have a number of programs in Shoko. So we did mobilization in health program, sound program, library program, sustainable livelihoods program, and SWEP program. One thing that I'm so sure, most of the people who came to this particular activity or program, they really enjoyed, because it's always good and it feels nice sharing a meal, however little it is, with the person who doesn't have it. So as an organization, we are so happy that the little we had, we managed to share with the community members that we serve.